regular school election. 3, the election coordinator is requested to utilize a newspaper published or of general circulation within the district for publication of notices in accordance with the election law requirements, and B, utilize ballot proposition summary information as prepared by legal counsel in the form of the notice of the last day of registration and notice of election in the forms as set forth in Exhibit B, attached hereto. C, provide a proof copy of the ballot to the district and its legal counsel in sufficient time to allow the ballot to be proofread prior to printing. 4, the Secretary of this board is hereby authorized and directed to file a copy of this resolution with the election coordinator and with any election clerk or clerks designated to conduct elections within the district by 4 p.m. on Tuesday, August 28, 2012. All resolutions and parts of resolutions insofar as they conflict with the provisions of this resolution be and the same hereby rescinded.
Whereas, pursuant to Part 9 of the Revised School Code, Act 451, Public Acts of Michigan, 1976, has amended the school code, 2 or more school districts may consolidate to form a single school district, and the superintendent of public instruction has approved and proposed the consolidation, and this board desires to submit a proposition regarding the proposed consolidation of the district and the school district of Ypsilanti, Washtenaw County, Michigan, as well as 1 or more millage propositions at the regular school election to be held on Tuesday, November 6, 2012. And on or before Tuesday, August 28, 2012, the board is required to certify any ballot proposition to be submitted to the voters at such elections to the election coordinator or coordinators designated to conduct elections within the district, the election coordinator. Now therefore be resolved that 1, the regular school election of school electors of the district be called and held on Tuesday, November 6, 2012. 2, the proposition attached hereto as Exhibit A shall be submitted to the electors of the district at the regular school election. 3, the election coordinator is requested to A, utilize a newspaper published or of general circulation within the district for publication of notices in accordance with the election law requirements, and utilize ballot proposition summary information as prepared by legal counsel in the form of the notice of the last day of registration and notice of election in the forms as set forth in Exhibit B attached hereto. Provide a proof copy, of the ballot to the district and its legal counsel in sufficient time to allow the ballot to be proofread prior to printing. The Secretary of this board is hereby authorized and directed to file a copy of this resolution with the election coordinator with any election clerk or clerks designated to conduct elections within the district by 4:00 p.m. on Tuesday, August 28, 2012. All resolutions and parts of resolutions insofar as they conflict with the provision of this resolution be and the same are hereby rescinded.
At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 8812 to place district consolidation on the November 6, 2012 ballot. Is there an Ypsilanti board member that would like to make that motion? Trustee Fanta.
Thank you, President Bates. On behalf of the school district of Ypsilanti, I offer for adoption and move its adoption, preamble and resolution as read by President Bates.
Thank you, Trustee Fanta. Is there support for that motion? Trustee Horn.
I support the motion.
Now I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 8812 to place district consolidation on November 6, 2012 ballot. I will run board member to.
Mr. President, I so move.
Okay. I have a second. Support. It's been moved. It's been moved and supported. Christine Thomas has moved and Mark Wiley has seconded the resolution 8812 to be approved as presented. Any discussion?
I'd like to start. I have a prepared comment here that has some questions in it. I was very pleased to see Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rutledge, and Mr. Flanagan here tonight. You guys actually answered some of the questions that I have in my comment here, and therefore it's going to seem a little bit redundant, but please bear with me while I read this. The state of Michigan, in all its wisdom, has granted local power to the local school districts, boards of education, in what was once referred to as local control. This empowerment includes the ability to hire and fire the superintendent, set curriculum, set policy, and almost everything else. But at the same time, it has been stressed that these boards do not engage in micromanagement. The one power the state saw fit to keep in its hands, in the hands of the local citizens, is that of consolidation. One might ask why the state would keep that power away from the elected officials and keep it with the local citizens. Perhaps this is because the state recognizes the seriousness of the ramifications and benefits of consolidation. That being said, we are faced with the prospect of consolidation, and the citizens must be allowed to vote on the issue of this merger. As with any issue, there are many sides to every story. This is my perspective. In what may historically eventually report as, in what history may eventually report as a deliberate underfunding and some broken promises by the state regarding the amounts of annual budget adjustments. Many districts in the state have now had their fund balances depleted to the point of deficit spending. The fact that the state has had to change our funding in mid-year multiple times and the resulting efforts of most of these districts affected has led to some pretty severe cuts in these districts. Yet some of the elite districts have been able to maintain a larger fund balance or rainy day fund than many districts have annual budgets is a concern. Is it the goal of the state to eliminate the local fund balances? At the approximate $1 million per district for administration expenses multiplied by about 550 districts, is it a goal of the state to save $500 million per year by going to county level districts? Superintendent Flanagan actually addressed that one. The real mission of all of these school systems should be to educate all of the citizens of their district, not just to battle with fund issues that have been in part caused by the state. The combined deficit that the new district will share in is about $10 to $12 million, and this is through what appears to mostly be deliberate underfunding from the state. If the mergers occur and does save the district and therefore ultimately saves the state that estimated $1 million per year, to the state I ask, please absolve the debt that was amplified by the underfunding. That's the real incentive we can all look forward to. The albatross of the deficit that may have been caused to entice consolidation, this debt of about $10 to $12 million or so, will impair the expediency of the success of the new district. And that success is what we're all supposed to be here for. To the state, I say, please accept the administration savings for the next 10 years as the payback on this deficit that was not totally self-created, and let this consolidation truly begin with a clean slate. Help us make sure that we can make this a success that we all know it must be. And to help ensure that the state's funds are being used for the education of our citizens, please look at the formula that you came up with when it comes to foundation allowances. We know